Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, today we will have our discussion on a topic which is completely in sync with the theme of the day. So let me give you a hint. I'm recording this video on December 6th. As per numerology, 6 is being ruled by the Venus. I'm recording it on a Friday. Like this weekday or Friday is being ruled or connected with the Venus. At a time when I'm recording this video, the transiting moon is conjunct with Venus even in the transit. So I saw so much of the overlap of Venus coming in from all the directions, and that gave me this hint that okay, Nipun, today you need to talk about your first love. My first love in occult, which is palmistry. I'm eternally grateful to palmistry because it's palmistry only which gave me confidence to face camera, to come in front of camera. My very first few videos were of palmistry only. So guys, in this video we will have our discussion on various formation of your union line or the marriage line. So it looks very surprising that in modern day and age, in 2024, where marriages, relationship, divorce, everything happens, like attraction happens so instantaneously. So even in this modern day and age, do we still have the relevance of this line? So trust me, after watching this video, you will be able to find out the relevance of that. And all what I can do is that just to cater to my existing astrology audience as well, in this video, we will be talking about almost like 16 or 17 variation of the union line. So just to cater to my astrology audience, I will be trying to blend it with the astrological combination as well. So okay guys, before we will start our discussion, quick business promotion time. So if you want any of your astrological guidance from me, you want me to read your chart and something, so you can go to the book your link, book your reading section mentioned in the description. Go there, click the link, you can book your reading with me. If you are interested in learning astrology from me, so I'm also giving Zoom classes as well. You can write me an email, the email ID which you are seeing right now in the flyer in your screen. Or even if you are based in Vancouver, you want to learn in person from me, so that provision is also there. And I recently went to Toronto, had a very good experience meeting my community members in person, how knowledgeable they are and how like decent and respectful they are. So now very soon I will be traveling to LA most likely. So if you're already based there, keep on a lookout for my travel plans, and you can actually book your reading and meet me in person as well. So okay guys, now we will start our discussion. So first of all, when I say that the parameters or the checkpoints you have to give attention in palmistry in order to know about the prospects of love, how an individual approach the prospects of the love. So certain checkpoints in the palm are, you have to see the amount of Venus, you have to see the heart line, you have to see headline as well, and you have to see and give utmost attention to the union line. And this video is dedicated to the union line in itself. So guys, the very first thing is that what does union line tells about? So union line is a reflection of your commitment to love. Now understand all the words used by me very carefully. It is a reflection of your commitment to love. That means even a nun who is completely dedicated and devoted in her love to the God, she could have a very strong union line. And a person who just got married for the sake of society, for the sake of pleasing his parents, might have a missing union line irrespective of being married to someone. So this is what this line tells about, that it tells about your commitment in the matters of the love. Now guys, if you have to look at it from the astrology point of view, I would say this thing that individually you have to see the condition of the Venus, or you have to see the condition of the 7th house. That will tell about that do you actually crave for companionship in your life or not, or are you kind of person who can also survive on your own as well. So the very first thing is that, is there a thing called as the ideal union line? So guys, generally it has been seen that in the hand, if you will find right in the middle of the mount of Mercury on the side, one single upward formation union line, that is considered as the best, in a way a ideal union line. I still remember at a time when I was going through my Palmistry certification back in India in 2015. So at that time my teacher told us that, Nipun, it's like if you have two or three clearly marked union line, so that can still be seen as two or three relationship with a strong impact or influence in your life. But more than three union line can be seen as, then they are many, then there is no category of it. That could be a case that depending on the desh kal patra, country culture era, you might have a very, either you are very hedonistic, or you keep on going on from one relationship to another relationship without even forming any emotional connect. It's just like that, this is what your nature is. You are more driven by the carnal desires rather than going by the feelings of your heart, without even forming or establishing an emotional connection with someone. So guys, when we talk about this sort of ideal union line, so let's say for example, even in someone's natal chart, if in the 7th house, especially the benefic planet, if it is placed in its own territory, like for a Scorpio Lagna, in the 7th house Venus is placed in the Taurus. For a Sagittarius Lagna, in the 7th house, like Mercury is placed in the Gemini in the 7th house. That could be seen as in parallel with the very ideal union line in the palm. Now guys, the next thing is that, is there a thing called a karmic relationship, or how can you see that form of union line in the palm? So generally guys, it has been seen that if you will find like on the side of the palm, you will find a very long kind of union line making a perfect complete curve. It's like a curve which is rounding the whole mount of Mercury. That can be seen as a karmic relationship, and trust me, I have seen that sort of union line in the hands of those people. Like even in their astrological chart, you can take up the case of a Capricorn Lagna and the 7th lord moon to be exalted in the 5th house. That can be seen as a typical karmic relationship, that you will get into relationship with someone in this lifetime with whom you have had strong attachment even from the past lifetime as well. Now guys, the next combination is that when we talk about that, all those kind of successful relationship which can turn into marriage. So how you can see it? See, in the science of palmistry, your both of the hands plays a very important role. So let's say, for taking my example, if I'm a right-handed person, so right hand will act as my active hand. So active hand will give information regarding my consciousness, regarding my present and future, and the passive hand will give information regarding my subconsciousness, regarding the kind of talent which lies dormant in my personality. So generally it has been seen that if you will find the union line only present in the passive hand, that will tell about that you have that desire to be in a relationship, but in the current circumstances, environment, either you're not putting efforts, or either you're not being able to attract or manifest a love in your life. But if you will find a union line well marked in both the hands, in active hand and the passive hand, that can be seen as a good combination, that you are ready for it, you crave for it, you desire for it, and you have the capacity to manifest that love in your life as well. And guys, these kind of combination, even in the case of the your astrological chart, can be seen as, if Jupiter is aspecting your 7th house, then it can be seen as a win-win situation, that the matrimonial aspect of your life is very well guarded, well divine protected. Now guys, the next thing is that when we talk about many union lines, so like the way I already explained this thing, that many union lines in your palm simply tells about that we can even count up till 3 union lines. That can be seen as very strong emotional impact of 3 relationship in your life. But when we talk about more than 3 union line in the palm, that simply means many. That simply means that you will keep on getting into relationship with people without actually having strong emotional connection. This could be a case that you're driven more by the need of the hour or by the cardinal desires as well. So this could be a case that let's say for example, you have a Rahu in your 7th house in your main ascendant chart, or like Rahu is conjunct with your 7th lord, can be seen as one such kind of combination. Now guys, when we talk about a long union line, so is there a thing called as the long union line? So in my research, I have actually seen a long union line as well. So simply means that a union line to be long will be categorized as that line which has passed from your mount of Mercury and it has almost reached your mount of Apollo, and it has almost, like if you have a sun line, it has almost even touched it as well. So that line will qualify as a long union line, and generally it has been seen that if your union line is so long that it is almost touching the sun line or has reached the sun mount, that simply tells about that you will attract a very famous or a very wealthy partner in your life as well. Like a typical combination, that if your 7th lord is placed in the 11th house, that simply tells about that you might attract a person who is going to be very famous, who is going to be very wealthy, or your wishes are going to get fulfilled which you have, like ideal partner's wish list which you have in your mind, that might get fulfilled. This could be looked at in this way. Now guys, when we talk about a floating union line, so how can you look at it? See, floating union line means that if you will find a line to be very small, and it has, like generally in majority of the hands you will see this union line to be coming from the behind of the palm and reaching till the side of the percussion of the palm. But if you will find a very small kind of floating line, that simply tells about that you need to do work in the matters of commitment, or you might not be very well prepared when it comes down to getting bogged down with the duties and responsibility or the commitment which comes with a relationship. So a typical case could be that in your natal chart, if you have your 7th lord to be debilitated, could be looked at in this way, that you are not prepared, you are not very well equipped. Then in that case we have to give attention to what exactly is happening in the D9 chart. So this can be looked at in this way. Now guys, the next thing is that if you will find close and parallel union line, so if you have two lines and they are very close and they are very parallel to it, so that simply tells about that this could be a case that either you are shuffling between multiple things, or you might have a very close relationship with someone else other than your partner as well, or this could be a case that you're always in a confused state, that when you are with one person you are thinking about another, and when you are with another person you're thinking about to get back to your house, to your family, to your wife or something. So yes, two lines which are very close and they almost look parallel to it, that generally tells about being confused or somehow a life which is being conflicted between two relationships. And yes guys, in these kind of cases and all, you will generally find the influence of Rahu either on the 7th house or with the being conjunct with the 7th lord in the chart as well. Or this could be a case that we say this thing that in the 7th house your planet is placed in the Punarvasu nakshatra. That could be one such kind of combination. Now guys, when we talk about let's say for example, if you have upward turning union line, so upward turning union line is generally considered as a fortunate combination. Guys, understand this thing, in the science of palmistry, upward turning lines are always considered as good. So if you have a upward turning union line, that simply tells about that through marriage, through companionship, through courtship or through relationship, you will rise in the life. It's a good combination that which will keep you on a higher path. Like this could be a case that you were not that ambitious, but the minute you got into a relationship, you actually got your calling in the life. Your life actually took a very positive upward turn. So that can be attached with the upward turning union line. So when we talk about growth, success, wish fulfillment through partnership, through marriage, could be one of the combination or probable outcome which can be connected with a upward turning union line. Like the way, for example, same is the case guys, if you will find that your 7th lord is placed in the 10th house, your 7th lord is placed in the 9th house, or this could be a case that Jupiter is influencing your 7th house or the 7th lord. That can be seen as one such probable outcome as equivalent to a upward turning union line. After that, guys, if you will find a downward turning union line, that is not considered as very good, because downward lines, whether we talk about the heart line, at its culmination you will find a heart line to be a branch to be curving down. So see, the downward turning lines, like the only line which is considered as good in this context is the headline, because that will take the headline towards the amount of moon, and that will make you very empathetic. But when we talk about downward turning union line, it has been generally seen that some sort of failure in the matters of love, in the matters of relationship. So this could be a case that your 7th lord is debilitated. This could be one such kind of combination. Or we can also take up the case like this could be that you are a Aquarius Lagna and your 7th lord is debilitated in the 9th house, could be attached with that as well. Now guys, when we talk about the islanded union line, so islands in the science of palmistry are never considered as good. That somehow tells about some sort of inner conflict, like some sort of mental anguish in the matters of relationship. This could happen in so many ways. This could be a case that you are in a relationship with a partner who is not healthy, and majority of your energies are being drained in order to look after your partner as well. So some sort of major conflict or a void space in the relationship is generally attached with a island, and especially because union line is not that long, like the way when we talk about headline or the hotline. So that means there's going to be less scope. See, in these kind of combination, we always have to give attention to the state of the line after the island. So if after the island the union line is recovering from that, it is in an immaculate state after the island formation, then this could be a win-win situation, that the problem will come but the relationship will recover. But if after the union, like after the island formation in the union line, if the union line is getting terminated on a island, or if it is getting bad or deformed after the island formation, then this is a typical case that the relationship might not survive the test of the time. So this could be a case that the in the 7th house in your natal chart, there's a lot of affliction. You have planets like separative planets like Ketu and Saturn being placed over there, and 7th lord is also debilitated or afflicted. Now guys, when we talk about the vertical lines crossing the union line, so you have a union line which is being intersected by the interference lines. So see, when we talk about like if you have lines which are standing on the union line, those vertical lines are called as the lines of the children or the progeny lines. But here I'm talking about that they are lines which are somehow piercing the union line. So those lines simply tells about that there might be some conflict within the relationship. This could be a case that you have very interfering in-laws, or this could be because of the nature of the job, or this could be a case that your partner has got drinking problem, your partner has got smoking issue or something. So they are like those problems which are somehow creating strong rift within the relationship. So again guys, like there is one such kind of possibility where people are incompatible and they part their ways after initial fight. But this could be a case that you are a part of an arrangement. You live in a society, in a culture where even parting ways is not possible, and every day you are fighting or you are struggling or you are being suffocated in the relationship. So this could be a case guys that in your 7th house planet Saturn is placed in your astrological chart, and there's a heavy karma, heavy burden of responsibilities which you have to deal with, rather than finding relief through companionship, through partnership. Now guys, when we talk about if you have a fork at the termination of the union line, so again guys, having a fork simply means that there are going to be many issues which you have to deal with. There are like many conflicts which is pulling relationship apart or splitting it apart or putting it in different direction. And over where again guys, especially in a fork kind of combination, it's just like that your partner and you you both come from completely different taste, ethnicity, liking. So just like that, two people with completely apart poles apart kind of personality, is being put in a relationship, and the relationship is going through lot of the adjustments, lot of the fights, and lot of the bickering. After that, guys, when people talk about that, Nipun, what could be a case if the line is completely absent? So guys, like the way these lines somehow gives a strong sense of destiny, I would say. Like the way in majority of my palmistry videos, I always give emphasis to this thing, that absence of line is never an issue, but if a line is present and that is afflicted, that is the major issue, that is a major concern. So the point which I am saying over here is that if you do not have a union line, that simply it does not tell about that you are doomed in the matters of relationship. That simply tells about that there's not strong sense of destiny attached to it. So with your diligent actions and your thoughts and your intent, the purity of the intent, you are free to create new karma in that department. This could be a case that just because you remain unconditionally so dedicated, devoted to your partner, that your partner initially, after having a lot of the misunderstanding, now your partner also started loving you back. Or this could be a case that irrespective of no matter what sort of, because in majority of the societies, people have set a bar. Like I have been watching those videos, they say that even in China, especially in the Asian countries, how difficult it is to find a partner to get married if you're not doing very good. And there are like certain biases which are there in the society, that you have to look like this, you need to be making money like this, your nature, your temperament has to be like this. So the concern over here is that if you do not have a union line, so those biases cannot stop you. It's just like that, based on the purity of your intent, your habits and something, you still have this capacity to manifest or attract love in your relationship. And the purity of your intent and dedication, determination will drive the outcome in that department. And lastly, guys, when we talk about growing a union line, so is that difficult? Trust me, it's not that difficult. And this is one such area where palmistry has got a leverage over astrology. Like the way generally astrology somehow makes people little bit fatalistic in the life, that everything about your destiny is predetermined, it is fixed, there's not much of the like free will or space which you have over there. But palmistry generally tells about that yes, with our intent and purity of our thoughts, we can bring changes in the lines. It's very well known fact that bringing a change with your lifestyle change, with the change in your thought process in the major lines like heart line, head line and the lifeline is very difficult. It's like you need to go through tremendous changes and all. Like an alcoholic who will completely give up alcoholism and become a saint and a monk, that is a different story altogether. But when we talk about so the point which I'm saying, that in the primary lines, bringing a difference or seeing a difference irrespective of going through a complete transformation mentally is gonna be a very slow process. But when we talk about the fate line, we talk about the sun line, we talk about the union line, they respond very quickly with the change in your subconsciousness, change in your thought process. So that means yes, you might come from a culture, you might come from a family, you might come from a environment where people are not very much concerned about staying monogamous or being in a committed relationship. But if you develop those traits, you will develop those habits, that sort of thought process of commitment and all, you can actually grow a union line, and that has been seen in the research in lot many hands. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.